Both millennials and Gen Z are the reason for the downfall of many industries and practices. The younger generation has banded together to conspire against the hardworking older generations. We are the generations killing incredibly important institutions. We are the reason that the napkin industry has gone under. And we are the generation fighting to end the ancient, useless practice of arranged marriages. At least that's how many assume we think. The taboo surrounding arranged marriages has led to years of suppression of one's opinion on a subject that so very few were brave enough to voice their opinions on, especially since the practice dates back thousands of years ago. Now, with the introduction of media and the change in what is considered a taboo, we are now more inclined to voice how we truly feel. Elders believe that as a generation we are more rebellious and disrespectful than ever before. But what's really happening is because of the unclothing of taboos, we have more room to explore and ask questions. There's this preconceived notion that as a generation we are all against arranged marriages and want to stray far, far away from the cultures that we grew up in. However, I do not believe the topic to be as black and white as society makes it out to be. I want to explore what changes are happening with arranged marriages and why, and if there really is some consensus about how we feel about the practice as a whole. So, what is an arranged marriage?
Your parents,
The parents or maybe grandparents have
two families want to merge their families together, and they do that by way of marrying their son and daughter together.
Historically, arranged marriages are a practice in which families bring together their children in hopes of creating a prospect of marriage. They were a practice heavily focused on class and status, but in the modern age used to keep family lineage going. Many confuse forced marriages with arranged marriages, where one of both parties involved are, as the name implies, forced into the agreement. However, arranged marriages can often feel forced because of the physical or psychological pressure put onto the son or daughter. Because of many's preconceived notion about the younger generation's opinions, I want to delve deeper into how we actually feel and what we think influence those opinions. What are your views on the culture? Not necessarily where you are in the culture, but how do you view it? How do you view arranged marriages?
I mean, nowadays, I feel like it's just kind of unfair to make someone have an arranged marriage. Obviously, times are changing.
it's been an established method for a long time. So I don't really have too much against the culture. I don't think it's wrong or something if a certain family wants to have arranged marriages and that be their thing.
What do you think is your place within the culture? Do you want to get an arranged marriage or anything like that?
Nope, I definitely don't want to get married.
I'm mostly not sure because, my parents, they were their first option too, right? Mm-hmm. But it was I think with my parents, if they were to arrange, it'd be pretty similar. You're going to date with this girl, and then I decide afterwards. But it's always going to be the same type of girl. And my values differ heavily from my parents' values, because they were born in India, they're raised in India, right? But I was born here, and I'm raised on a lot more American values than I think they might realize too. So just whatever girl they pick probably won't be compatible.
Your parents, are they planning an arranged marriage for you, or they're just kind of letting you decide what you want?
I'm not sure. I didn't really talk to them about it, but I do know that my mom, every time someone brings up a marriage or something, because I'm 18, you know how, I don't know what year your mom got married, but my mom got married at the age of 18.
Oh,
and some
that's really
older
young.
Indian people, they're still in the mindset of people getting married at the age of 18. So my mom just declines their offer right away. They're like, no, I'm not ready to get married until she's 25, and after that, or whenever I'm ready, personally.
Yeah.
Because she wants me to finish my education, but she always keeps on saying that if there's ever a boy or something, tell me, I don't know if your mom tries to act friendly with you, but if there's anything you want to tell me, I'm here for you. I won't tell anyone, I don't know if she's acted that way towards you, but my mom keeps on acting like that to me and my sister.
What do you think shaped your opinion on arranged marriages?
Okay, so it's not like kids nowadays are just looking at their parents and just growing up with looking at people around them. It's we are more exposed to the internet and stuff. Since we are in that day and age, we're able to look at different opportunities and come up with our own sense of understanding, because I feel like it just became a part of logic.
I mean, like household life. I mean, because of course I have all these family friends, and they all are the same like religious community, so they all are arranged, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I compare like their household life to like maybe my friends who aren't arranged, right?
Okay.
And it's like there's definitely kind of like I mean, it might just be there's so many things to it besides just the fact that one family's arranged, one isn't, right? Just because like there's massively different cultures, but just there's like some type of like I feel like sometimes there's like a spark missing from arranged marriages that like comes with true love.
So, based on my interviews, I can see that there's a wide range of opinions on the topic. Many of my peers believe that the practice is outdated and not as useful as it once was, and others feel very neutrally about it. And one of my friends even believes that she would go through the process if she couldn't find a spouse on her own. And there's a wide range of reasons why we feel how we do. Some feel as though family, friends, and watching their marriages greatly shaped their opinions. Others feel that Bollywood and Western media shape their opinions, which research does indicate that there's a decline in the want of marriage the more one is exposed to media such as Bollywood and Hollywood movies. There is even a correlation found between the more educated a woman is, the less likely she is to want an arranged marriage, especially if she becomes more career-driven and less wants a family. I personally have a more neutral outlook on arranged marriages. When I was really young, I was brought up heavily in the culture. My parents were arranged when they were in their mid-20s and definitely had a great vision of also putting me through an arranged marriage. From about the ages of 0 to 12, I was very much into the idea of me getting an arranged marriage. This was the only way of life in my mind. I genuinely did not know people had love marriages. That was an outlandish idea that Disney had made up. But watching movies like Aladdin, especially, inspired me to think for myself. From that point, I had a total shift in mindset. I was completely against the institution of arranged marriages. The biggest factor being watching my parents' marriage. They were essentially strangers when they met, and they were engaged shortly after meeting. My mom even said that my dad was her first option, and she just went along with it because she was young and did not quite understand that there were more options available. My parents don't have the best relationship, and there's a lot of factors as to, even if they fell out of love or did not want to be together, that holds them back. They've established a family, business, a house, and I never want to be put in a situation where I'm with somebody who's essentially a stranger. Even though my parents have been married for over 20 years, they are still getting to know each other, and they're realizing that it's a lot of work, especially when their foundation was built on almost nothing. I went into research for this project thinking that there's this great decline in the want of arranged marriages based on my experiences. After doing a lot of research, I've realized that the culture itself is evolving and there is a change in mindset. I would never get an arranged marriage based on my experiences, but I'm seeing it more as a viable option for those who want to still be part of their culture but not feel like it's a forced only option. Though many in the older generations may believe that we are fighting against an age-old tradition purely out of spite, we're realizing that there is more to think about and that there actually is an option. Media, experiences, education all play a big factor into how we feel, whether we're on one side of the spectrum or the other, or we're smack dab the middle.